Hello and welcome to episode 34 of the Sussex by the Sea podcast, a podcast about all things Hastings United. I'm your host Chris Laverick, and it's Cup Fever this week, youth fans. We have HAREFIELD'S United's chairman Gary South talking our big cup clash at their Preston Park this Saturday. And if that wasn't enough, we have Hastings' very own John Watson, SEGAL, on location in places unknown, giving his pre- and post-match thoughts on yet another strong performance from our women's team. And finally, we have the always entertaining and very rarely informative fan roundtable. Enjoy, Hastings fans. And now over to HAREFIELD'S United's chairman, Gary South. Hello, Gary.
Morning, Chris.
Hey, sorted. Thank you for this very early, not early for us, but it'll be early for most people.
It's not at all early for me. No, I don't mind at all.
Well, listen, look, Gary, really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
More than welcome.
Yeah, just so for anyone that's obviously listening, Gary's Gary South's the chairman of HAREFIELD'S United. A very good morning to you, sir.
So, good morning, Chris. HUFC for both of us.
Exactly. Winners, mate. Winners. I was going to say, so, obviously, because we got your boys on the 4th of September, so that's like when we're recording, it's a week Saturday. I was going to say, how have you lot started the season?
We haven't played a great deal of games. We've won 2 FA Cup ties and drawn twice in the league.
So unbeaten.
Unbeaten, and this is a bit pedantic, but you may know that before all the seasons got cut short, the last full season we played, we were unbeaten in that as well.
I've got it here. The Invincibles. Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
So technically...
But let's go there. Let's talk about that. So that was your last proper season.
Technically, the last 2 seasons have been expunged from the record. So technically, we're unbeaten since, I don't know, 2019 or something.
What fantastic.
But I mean, we're not making a thing about it. Because...
It's nice when it happens, though, isn't it? I mean, it's something you're never going to forget.
For those players, especially, half of them are gone now, but a lot of young players came through that. A lot of 18-year-olds came through that, and that's something that, how often are you going to get that on your CV as a football player?
No.
It was tremendous for them. And, we felt hard done by the 2 games we drew in that one. We only drew 2. We drew 2 games out of the first 4 that season, which we felt hard done by on them with offsides, all this sort of nonsense, And we won the rest. So it was a great thing for the players. And obviously me as chairman, it cost me a few quid in sponsored goals and all that, and I was delighted.
Was that the grey hair? Is that how you got the grey hair there? Was it?
That's not bad, that since I was 19, mate.
That's why I wear the hat. I'm all grey anyway, so I'm just hiding it all.
It's my trademark.
Yeah. Because I know that with our lot, Hastings had we weren't unbeaten, but we only lost a couple games. A wonderful season that none of us lot are ever going to forget. But as you go, it's gone, isn't it? It's in terms of officially, it's gone, but unofficially, no one's forgetting that. So it's obviously the same for your boys.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And some of the boys who did it that are still at the club. We got our goalkeeper, Jacob Ballheimer. I've known him since he was 6. He's never played for another club. He's gone right the way through from the under-7s to the first team. Yeah, and he's made a career in football. He works full-time for Middlesex FA. So it's a tremendous achievement for him. It was well earned, but they're very fortunate to have been involved.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you don't mind me asking, just talk a little bit about your club history, because having a little look, you've been around forever. 1860s. Obviously, you can't pack that into 5 minutes, but tell us about the highlights of the club. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're the oldest club in Middlesex. 1868 we were formed. There's not many clubs in the country go back much further than that. We've been at our present ground since I think it was 1967. Before that, we were playing. It was the old Parthonian League, which was a sort of step up from county football, and we were playing at a local park, where we still have teams playing there as well. I was training there last night. I run an under-10 team, under-11, sorry, starting next month, under-11s. I was training them at the same park where I used to watch my old man play. When I was 10, my old man was player manager at HAREFIELD'S United.
Oh, bloody hell, really?
So, I did my reflection last night. I was standing in the corner where the change rooms used to be. That's no longer there, and sort of looking back on the view that I'd have been looking at 50 years ago. So, so we moved to Preston Park in 1967. I joined the club in 82. And I think the highest league we've been in, we were in the Isthmian League at one point. For in the mid-80s, for several years we were in the Isthmian League. Which is what, step 4, I suppose, yeah. But I don't think we had the steps and the pyramid then, but that's level.
They're always messing about with those, aren't they? I mean, it's that's a moan in itself, all of that stuff. But
well, I mean, they're standardised now. We all know where we are, so it's not a bad thing now. I think at the time, I remember, due to not being able to make necessary ground improvements, I think we dropped down to the Isthmian North, I think we were in, if I remember rightly, which was a step below. And been around step 5, step 6 ever since, really. Mostly step 5. We dipped into step 6 for a couple of seasons. That was when we did our Invincibles and came back up again. We've been around that level ever since, with the odd County Cup coming along and things like that. But in recent years, our biggest thing has been the development of our youth section of the club. Boys and girls teams at the moment. We've got about 400 players playing for the club. It's massive. And
who's your administrator? They must be getting sore hands, bloody writing all that down.
Not a job for one person. But we've got a good youth team around us. And
that's good.
Yeah. So I would say probably, I can't predict what the manager's going to play, but I would say that around 5 or 6 of the starting 11 when we play you would have come through our youth policy.
Well, that's obviously that's very good for the future. You've got people that
I'm not saying they're all youngsters. Some of them now are seasoned professionals.
Yeah.
Well, they're not pros, but senior. They've come through the youth teams and the under 18 allied counties. It's the way forward. We're not a club that can afford a lot of money on wages, so you develop your own. And
well, with them having links, I know from seasons before, is if you get mercenaries in, they might well be good for a little while, but they've got no links with the club. They're not going to hang around, and
exactly.
and not that you want them. Like if you've got, I'm sure you're the same as Hastings. Like we've had to let players go. If there's an opportunity for them to go up the levels, that you're going to let them go, aren't you? You do that. So we're talking about the players, right? So when we come along, us Hughes fans, who is going to give us nightmares on your team? Who's giving us nightmares? Who's going to scare the bejesus out of us?
It depends how frightened you are, doesn't it, really?
Well, there's a few of them that are timid. I'm not timid, but there's a few timid ones.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure if you've done your homework, you know that Richard Paquette plays for us.
Blimey, Richard Paquette. You ain't talking about the Richard Paquette that was at QPR, are you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Blimey. Because I used to go watch QPR years and years ago.
No, you remember from his...
Blimey. Really?
Yeah. But he you can look him up on Google, on Wikipedia. He's listed. I mean, he's been with us 3 years now, and he's never been. He used to have 3 clubs a season.
He did. He was a bit of a wanderer, but
I
didn't know that. Bloody hell!
MK Dons, York City, Then he went into the non-league scene, and he was with like St Albans and Hemel Hempstead, and
What's to keep him happy?
Very happy, yeah. And he's a great guy to have around. He's moved into the coach. I mean, he's sure he won't mind me saying he's 38 now, but he's in terrific shape. And
I saw him when he literally first started playing.
Yeah,
that makes me that. Yeah. Oh my God, blimey, that was a while ago. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, he's still playing, and he's helping coaching. He's on the coaching team.
Excellent.
I don't know if he'll be playing because he's been injured. He got injured in the was it the last cup tie? No, it wasn't. No, it was a league game. Yeah. So I don't know if he's fit again, but he'll be there and be around. And if he's not on the pitch, he'll be on the bench coaching.
With all that experience, it's only good for you all lot, isn't it? I mean, that's rubbing off, isn't it?
Honestly, he'll come and watch. He doesn't have to, but he comes watch his youth teams. He'll come watch our under-18s, and half time he'll pull the strikers to one side, and he's a terrific guy to have around. We're blessed there. So he's definitely one to watch for you, because if he plays, he's decent. He knows the.
Well, if he ain't playing, I'm gonna have to come up to him and say, because I remember watching him, blimey, like when he was when he first started, like when he actually first started to watching him. But yeah,
I'll introduce you. Yeah,
no, that's okay. Well, yeah, well, on that subject, first of all, well, actually, let's do this in order, because I was going to say first I need a beer, but let's go back. Let's talk about Preston Park. What's the ground like?
It's a very good pitch. We call it the carpet. We've got a stand that takes 150. There's a stand with no seats on the far side behind the dugouts, and it's just standing all around. Really, it's good enough for step 4. It's good enough for step 4. There's what we're doing, talking about beer. So we got our clubhouses open. It's not a football clubhouse. It's a club that's open. Well, we got a pub license, so it's open 7 days a week. Big bar, cheapest and best lager around. So they tell me I don't drink myself, but the locals say that we do the best lager in the village. And what we're doing is we've got a burger van that sells beer as well, parked just by the entrance to the ground, and that's on a big warm-up area. So we're doing a bit of a fan zone, so we can accommodate, people inside and outside for a beer. So they'll be able to get something to eat and a beer outside.
Very nice.
We're hoping to keep you all at the club for a beer.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Where's good for a beer? And I can't. Well, being the chairman, you're always going to say the clubhouse, aren't you? I mean, you're not going to get us to run away. But if you've got any real ale nuts,
I
am a little bit.
Oh yeah, you might want to visit. We got a pub in the high street called the Harefield.
Okay.
And it's a small pub, but they're terrific guys in there, and they got, I don't know, they always have guest beers, and they got about half a dozen real ales.
Oh, nice, yeah. None of that funny stuff. None of the chocolate stout, bloody, all that. They're not the funny beers.
I wouldn't know.
You don't even drink there? No, okay.
It's my local. It's 100 yards from my house, and I do go in there, nice. But I don't drink, so I couldn't really tell you too much about it. But it's a proper real ale pub.
Yeah. So, right. No, definitely.
You might want to pop down there and have a beer yourself. Fancy the real ale.
So, but anyway, we were talking about your danger men. You mentioned Richard Paquette.
Yeah.
Who may or may not be playing, and but a lot of people might not know about Richard at Hastings, but it definitely a top professional. But anyone else? I'm not trying. I don't want to. I'm not giving away secrets or anything. But just anyone that you think will be blimey. Look at him. He's a good one.
A bit of research would tell you much that you need to know. But we've signed a couple of boys who are associated with Barnet. We got George Murphy. He's an attacking sort of central midfielder, comes forward, a sort of number 10 role. And we've got an out-and-out striker in Marlon Forjaw. He's a youngster who came through Barnett's system, and he's playing up front. And, we've had a bit of a striker crisis of injuries, so we've been trying to get players in.
Well, they're gold dust, didn't they?
We've got one of the boys who under 18s played in the last league game and came on as sub and, bagged a goal. So,
nice one.
We've got youngsters available. I don't know what's in the manager's plans for the day, but I had a word that they were training same time as me last night, and I had a word afterwards and had a little shufty myself to see who was there and who was missing,
Yeah. Right, I'm not asking any secrets, don't worry.
Boys, yeah.
I was just going to say, so, this is for us, this is definitely a toughie because, your lot have already done well. You've done 2 great wins in the Cup. You're obviously up for it.
Oh, without a doubt.
Absolutely up for it. I'm sure you are. Anything you know about Hastings? Any potential strengths, weaknesses you think you might be able to exploit?
Again, that's a question for the manager. I'm sure he's done his homework, Jason.
Yeah.
But tell me a bit about you then. What players we've got to look out for from Hastings?
Well, there's just all 11. No, I'll tell you, depending on the team he puts out, like with yourselves, Chris Agata, who I just think is just a legend. He's a legend of a manager. We've got a lot of young players come through the ranks. So as yourselves, that's why I'm like yourselves. A young lad that usually plays sort of left-sided winger attacking midfielder called Freddie Legg, a young lad who I think he may or may not play on Saturday, but I think you lot will be excited. He's very direct, likes to take a shot. If you've got a beer or a pie in your hands and you're in the stands, I'd always be looking when he's got it because he'll shoot from anywhere and sometimes it don't go on the goal. But our core players, like we've got Ben Pope, who's a great sort of target-ish man, but great controller of the ball. Unfortunately, Warren Worrell, who midfield plays, got injured. He's out for a few weeks. I'm just trying to think of anyone that's going to really excite you. We've just got Lonray Aziz back, who's a winger, right-sided winger, who was a fan favourite a couple of years ago. We're probably going to bring him back in, and he absolutely terrorises down that right-hand side. I mean, there's a lot. We do play a patient game.
Yeah.
A patient game. I think I think you'd be impressed with us.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that goes to a football match and likes to watch both teams.
Yeah.
You don't just watch. I don't just watch our own players. You like to look at the players and find out who they are and remember them. It's all part of the game for me.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to watching you guys.
Yeah.
I did have a chat with the manager Jason Shaw last night and his assistant Michael, and they are fully focused at the moment on Saturday's game. And then they are not really thinking about the cup game because we've got 2 games to play.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, can you? If you've got those 2 ahead, because
it's nice for you and I to talk about it. It's.
It's the FA Cup, isn't it?
Plans, but they've got 2 important league games.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, we need to get some points on the board. We've only got 2 points out of 2 games, so we need to try and get 6 points on the board before we play you. So that's their concern right now.
Gary, absolute pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And really, all the best for this season.
That's kind of you. Yeah, and like you guys, we'll be following your season now. We like to look out for people who we play in different leagues and see how they're getting on. So we'll all be HUFC fans, whatever happens.
Exactly. One HUFC is going to be happy. Take care. And
I look forward to seeing you on the day, Chris. Yeah. And we'll have a beer and have a catch up and I'll introduce you to Richard.
Yeah, all right. You take care, fella, yeah?
All the best. Have a good day.
Yeah, cheers. And thanks again for this.
And now it's over to our correspondent on all things women's team related, Ry SEGAL. Hi guys, Ryan here. I am not at the game this week. I am on a well-earned break far away. I'm not telling you where in case you want to come and see me. But I am going to give you some content anyway because I'm just a very nice guy. So a bit of preview going into the match. Obviously, we all enjoyed last Sunday's win, a 10-0 at home to Meridian, and I think it's fair to say we can't expect that to be the weekly standard we face. No disrespect to Meridian, of course, but it wasn't the most challenging game that the team have had or will have. And I can tell you for a fact that Herne Bay won't be a walkover. Herne Bay won on the opening day by 4-1 against New Haven. However, Herne Bay didn't have to defend against Molly Hill, who bagged as many, which is of course 4, on the opening day. Sian Heather as well, getting on the score sheet with 2, a wide variety of scores and a very tidy used performance on the opening day. Will they beat Herne Bay? I think so. This team has the quality just to unlock defences like that and put relentless pressure on. I am not predicting another 10-0 and don't think I will for a time to come. I didn't even predict it in the first place. But I reckon that Hastings will have the edge, and I think Molly Hill will keep up her streak of scoring, and I'm going to say a 2-0 to Hastings. Well, it's Ryan again, and I'm still away, but I've seen the scoreline, and what a good result. My prediction was correct. It was a 2-goal gap, but a 3-1 instead of a 2-0. To my surprise, Molly Hill didn't score. However, Sian Heather bagged her second brace in as many games. I have to say she looks to be a fantastic signing for the team. Certainly from what I've seen, and is maybe backed up on roundtables and the like, her work rate is second to none on the pitch as she gets here, there and everywhere trying to win the ball back. And it's good to see Claire Johnson as well getting on the score sheet with her first goal for Hastings. So overall, a very positive weekend, and as I said it would be, a very different Sunday to the opening day, but nonetheless, and I'd say even more satisfactory given how much more they'd have learned from the result. Sorry there's not more to give you, but I will be back this Sunday when we host AFC Acorns, so you can look forward to more detailed ramblings then. Ta-ta!
It's that time now for our beloved fan roundtable. Thanks goes to the threesome of Andy, George and Robbie for making it happen.
Hi, Robbie.
Good evening.
Yeah, Robbie was in good form yesterday.
I got a bit angry.
Yeah. There was one time, Andy, I loved it. Yeah. Robbie was in the zone, so he didn't notice me talking to him about it. Okay. But he got so angry, he kind of done like this left hook. Like, ref, you're a disgrace. And did like a left hook as well. I mean, you had to be there. It was a beautiful thing.
Just like
he wasn't throwing a punch. He was a sort of semi, like, you know, like that little. It reminded me somewhat of the Great Ali fight. Do you remember the one where he just did the little? It was a controversial punch because they said he never caught him, but he did. You know, he reenacted it.
It's not that you see outside Jempson's down the town more often than not. When I'm on Robertson Street or something, yeah.
We'll have no class-based humour here, right? And then we'll just crack on, chaps. So don't worry. We could do without the filthy rascal, the filthy Chegwinette rascal that is Georgie. He did say he possibly might struggle, but he would try his best, and that he was very hungover.
Oh God! We drank too much.
How can you be that hungover at that age?
we drank a lot, and he hadn't eaten. We stayed to the bitter end.
Must be in his only in his late 30s.
You think how he still looks here?
He's only a youngling, isn't he? But these younglings, Andy,
I know.
Just not. They don't have the constitution, do they?
Absolutely hopeless, isn't it? He should have been out. Should have been up doing his paper round.
To be fair, yesterday was like 10th day in a row on it. So
yeah,
it's a good break.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Right. I'll tell you what we do. I'm going to just check if he hasn't appeared.
He hasn't got back to me, so
he can always jump in. He can.
I wouldn't indulge you. It's worse than Axl Rose, waiting for Axl Rose to come on stage, isn't it? One for all you older kids out there.
Welcome to the jungle. Right.
Yeah. But I suppose you see lots of kids wearing Guns N' Roses T-shirts, but I doubt whether they know who Guns N' Roses actually are.
I know.
He was going to. I thought he was, but I was doubting myself. I didn't want to say anything because it's a relation to my age sort of thing. It's like, if I get him wrong, I'm like an idiot.
Well, we could Google.
We could rant about young people if you want, but I'd rather talk about Hastings United.
We're all one once.
Exactly. Right. I am joined by the lovely Andy Quay. Yes?
Quay.
Andy Quay.
No way.
Andy
Fat white
Quay.
Andy.
But it is flat white Andy, let's be fair. And the beautiful Roberto Clifford. And we're here to talk Hastings. Let's kick it off. Didn't start too well. Ramsgate. Andy, what's your thoughts as you were up there? Your thoughts on the Ramsgate defeat?
It was I think it was another good example of something we're going to have to face up to this year in terms that teams are really after us. So it's a bit, everyone treats it as such a big game, and I think we're going to have to lump that for the rest of the season. But that's no bad thing, because that means we're rated. When we spoke briefly, didn't we? I said that they appeared to sulk about the pitch early on, our lot. They didn't seem happy, and there was a lot of bickering and grumpiness in the middle of the field, and obviously Ramsgate were really on it, and they were quite aggressive in their approach, and we never really got to grips with that. And the Sam Adams business, everybody, it was just quite unusual to see our lot lose their heads a little bit and therefore get themselves into a bit of shtuck as a result of that. They weren't able to take the sting out of Ramsgate's approach, were they? And that meant we were always on the back foot for quite a while. But that, coupled with Louis Rogers made a couple of unusual errors, and just everything all came together, didn't it? And it just, not a good half.
No, you made the point, not a good half. Don't say it wasn't a good game. Second half, we were dominant. And I say, what happens? We just switched off 3 times in the first half and got punished because we don't like these fake pitches. No one does. No. We never play well on them. As you say, we did whinge a little bit about it. But I say second half we were dominant. We deserved more. We hit the post. We were wide. About 3 shots cleared off the line. The ref was atrocious. He even banned us from drawing the ball because he decided that was a rule. And he sent Dane off for saying he was wrong.
He didn't know, did he?
Didn't send Dane off. That's what I'm going with.
Did he? He actually just refused. Did he refuse to go, or did it? Because I know he just sat back down on the bench.
He can't. Because he's a physio. He has to stay on the touchline. He didn't even tell the ref. He just sat back down. No, I'm not going.
That was very funny because he's possibly about as mild. He always strikes me as about as mild-mannered as it gets. And we were laughing about that if he's been sent off for dissent, then it really has gone quite pear-shaped, hasn't it? But yeah, you're right. The second half, that was absolutely excellent. I think Lloyd Dawes, I can't remember seeing him play, to be honest with you. I'm sure, but it's obviously such a distant memory with his injuries.
One pre-season friendly, I saw him. Then we played that Aveley game just before the second COVID break. Yeah. And both times I saw him play, he looked good. And I did doubt, like, why are we keeping around this quite injury-prone player? Is he going to be still the same player? And he's proved the doubters wrong
and
already.
It did actually the patient. You could see why they've been patient with him, couldn't you? Because he wasn't the only game changer, because everybody steps up. I mean, Stone was really driving them on, and it was just, and Hasler got his act together, and it was just so. Yeah, the second half they used the pitch rather than getting in a tizzy about the pitch. They used the pitch to suit the way they played, and it just changed. And they just, a couple of strikes, one that sort of maybe should have hit the target. Their goalie, despite being an absolute knob, also turned out to be quite good as well, which was a bit disappointing. And he made one save from Dawes from a sort of cross shot that was really, really an excellent save, and that was the sort of thing that turned it for them in the end. They just about clung on. You could tell by their reaction at the end. Yeah, like I said, that these teams are really onto us, and they really, really want to beat us. I know that's all stated the bleeding obvious, but more so than last season even.
Well, as I'm going to steal one of Andy's quotes here, but we definitely were undercooked first half. Yeah, as I'm sure you'd agree, Andy. The first, that it was a 10-minute, 15-minute period in the first half where we just weren't like our usual selves. Like even when we conceded, we're not used to being caught out, and like it's like when they got their third goal. That I absolutely like that. We're not, Robbie. You know, I'm standing next to her. No one was expecting that. It was just like we switched off, and normally there's too many leaders in that team that we don't switch off. We are, and it was just very uncharacteristic.
The way that ball skimmed across the penalty area, completely, everyone left it, didn't they, for that third goal? And Rodgers sort of watched it go across, and it was just, it was strange.
Hopefully, and it seems that is the case now, that we've had this little blip, and we're trying to eliminate those type of errors.
The season started half-time, the Ramsgate game, pretty much. Yeah. We had just a slow start, going 3-1 down to pick up the answer we needed. Everyone got there into gear. Fantastic second half. And you can see at full time, the Ramsgate, how much it means to the players, because they were devastated. It wasn't like, oh, well, we've lost, let's go for a beer. You can tell they generally did not like losing, which is a fantastic thing to see. And I think that's what helped us yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was good. I think actually that's saying the season started at half time. I think that's a really good way of putting it. I think even though they lost, the way they turned the game around and turned their minds around on Saturday's second half, that's real. I think it's a really good way of summarising it, because on Monday they wouldn't be bullied anymore, and the shoe was on the other foot, and it was Whitehawk who were whinging because we were.
We're not on Whitehawk yet. Yeah, we're talking Ramsgate. You're moving, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. It's just a segue.
You're the one that does the segues, mate. Yeah. Right?
Andy hosting this thing.
Andy's taking over. Yeah. Typical middle class. They're trying to take over.
Oh, that's right. Maybe spill my olive tap.
I've got points about Blah Beyond. I've got all sorts of points I want to make about Ramsgate, and you've not allowed me to.
Well, you're welcome. Come on, let's go.
But I was saying one of the reasons why we may have been caught out was maybe one or two of our players were looking to get the autograph from the lead singer of Brother Beyond. That's all I was going to say.
Who was he? Their manager?
The manager. Have you not seen him? Check The Harder I Cry, Brother Beyond.
Yeah.
It's a early 90s, I think, maybe late 80s. I interviewed this guy. I interviewed this Ramsgate manager. He's a lovely bloke. He wasn't wearing any of this garbs.
I would describe it as middle-aged divorcee on a big night out. Going to slightly inappropriate clubs and pubs.
Club XS.
Where he's just outside of the age demographic, but sort of hanging on in there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, anyway, just a quick point about second half. I thought it was great that we've got someone like Kenny Pogue on the bench, because we went a little bit more direct. Obviously, Lloyd Dawes, the whole second half was just on it, and it was just great to see. It was just great to see us just not give up, and we really had a go at it, which was good.
The only thing I would say was I did enjoy, Robbie, your sort of little Dream Boys impersonation behind the goal. When the tops came off, I did wonder whether they'd taken their tops off, and then because we scored whilst their tops were off, they felt they had to keep them off in case it was a superstition thing.
It's an away day tradition. The tops always come off on away day, and they stay off to full time.
Yeah.
A little bit of a shout out to the Ramsgate under 8s, that came over. They were
cracking, love them.
Yeah, that coming over, and they were singing at us, and they were in good spirit. It wasn't it was quite.
It wasn't
funny.
the most private
we were stood near them actually. It was quite funny because they were coming running back to their parents, reporting on their interaction with you lot behind the goal. Which was quite. They thought they were sort of associating with the Hastings firm.
Yeah. But no,
they were having quite a laugh.
And moving on from that, we move on to Whitehawk. Robbie, do you want to kick off on what was a lovely victory?
So it was a dominant victory. I mean, so really great way to bounce back. I think I could be wrong. I pretty much the same team. Pretty much, I think started. Whitehall did Ramsgate. No, Dawes came in, didn't he?
Yeah.
But overall, it was a really good, strong team. I mean, Dawes and Martin, what a win combination. Dawes, he pulls more and more players to him, so he can feed it for Pope. He can switch it wings to Martin. But then it's under Martin, who with his cannon and steel just gets past people, whacks balls in. We're dangerous on both sides now. And Jack Dixon, what a midfield performance. I mean, controlled the game, no matter what, great tackles. He only got a card. I think I said to you second half. He only got a card. Yeah. They were counter-attacking. And they literally came in, took the ball cleanly, KO'd the player, and we were back country. I was going to you, that is a sexy-looking tackle from Dicko there.
I know, and you did say you would say it. Thank you very much, Robin.
It was such a good. It's one of the best tackles I've seen live. It was just boom.
Thank you.
But dominant performance. It was great to see Popey get good thinking about Hazard to catch a keeper, daydreaming. Good goal, but Popey, great finish for second, and hopefully that means that's first of many for him. Talking
of the goalie, just quickly, Andy, sorry to butt in. Robbie done some very sound work on the goalie to mental disintegration techniques.
Oh, okay, so he gave it the old Steve Waugh or whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't Joe, because usually the master, Joe Suggett, is his last name, I'm sure it's Joe Suggett. He is he's the grandmaster of the mental disintegration, but Robbie has learnt well, and those techniques worked, as there was an absolute calamity from the goalie to give us a 1-0 lead. Sorry.
He wasn't helped by the fact that they had, I don't know why they didn't put, I'm not going to complain, but why are you not putting anybody on the near post for a free kick like that as well? So he just all drifted up, and, as if Sam Hasler had written down, I am crossing this to the far post, and everyone just retreated to the far post. And it was just sort of, suddenly his body language changed, and bang, in it went, which was beautiful. But it was, it was a really nice performance. I mean, Whitehawk, I thought I was disappointed in them, really. I mean, why should I care? But I was disappointed in them. They were weak and whingy and really just got what they deserved. The referee, I thought, deserves a special mention. He was absolutely excruciating. It was the time he was taking over decisions was just, and the explanation of the decisions. I could see a gap in the market for a bit of a NFL type advertising during the breaks in play. It was so bad that we could almost have had advertising during the breaks in play, and that was a really.
Andy, I had to get back for my mother-in-law's birthday, and all of these breaks in play. I'm thinking I'm already on borrowed time. You're lucky I'm still here. Anyway, Andy, carry on.
I don't want to go all Les Dawson on you, but I would have thought every break in play was welcomed, wasn't it?
No.
You can take that out.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But no, it was mad, wasn't it? It was just everything took utterly, even a free kick took utterly, it was mind-boggling. I probably have seen something like it, but it was just sensational. And that was a really good example of how their mind was in the right place, because they did not let that upset them at all. And it was Whitehawk who got upset, and we just kept on playing, even though it so broke our momentum. Martin got the ball so much more. I'm sure he's in line for Bob Quinn's first use of the word wand with his left foot. So he's going to get the first wand-like left foot accolade of the season. I wouldn't mind betting.
We'll have to tell Bob.
His crosses were superb.
Unbelievably so. I mean, they were always good. They were always like these lovely teasing. You think
the way they float, beautiful. Which was a pity, because the only thing I would say is we didn't attack the crosses as well as we should have done. But again, you could see that Pope was getting better, and I'm really pleased for him with his goal at the end. You could see that people were playing better. Tom Chalmers was more progressive in the way he played. Elphick, I thought he was my man of the match, because
he was good. He wasn't even fully fit.
Oh,
hang on.
The number 9 came up. Their number 9. I thought, my God, he's a big bloke. That number 9. And it turned out that's all he was, just a big bloke. Yeah. And he never got a sniff. And even when he pulled wide, little Nathan Jenkins, who I've been impressed by, Even he was nicking the ball when he was on the deck. Even he was nicking the ball off.
What about Jenkins? Jenkins struggled Saturday. What mentality to come back like he did yesterday? Great comeback.
Yeah, and that was all that sort of thing. And again, you can see the influence that Stone is having. I mean, Dixon does the work in the middle of the pitch, but Stone is really good. You can hear Worrell quite often talking people through things, and that's one thing we miss. But Stone was doing that, and it really, really does make a difference. And everything looked better, and you could just see. And it comes back to what Robbie said about half-time at Ramsgate, and you could see they wouldn't be bullied. They played their football. Everybody knew what they were doing. I liked the shape of the team, the whole thing. You wouldn't want to play against Pope and Dawes, would you, if you were a defender? You know, they can battle for the ball, they can beat you on the ground, and they can score goals. I think that's very promising.
Yeah, also they were spraying it so well to Martin as well.
Yeah.
Equally, we have had a run-in from Mr. Gasson. Mr. Gasson, are you there, sir?
I am here.
Hello, Mr. Gasson. So we're up to we won't talk Ramsgate. We're up to Whitehawk. Sir, your thoughts?
Yeah, so great to see a bumper crowd there. Disappointing, really, that they come for a draw and didn't really try and win from the outset. Perhaps they came for a 0-0 or just to try and nick it 1-0, but we were far superior in the middle of the park. They probably thought they'd have more luck in the middle of the park, but obviously Jack playing so well. We absolutely dominated them really in the middle of the park. So that was great to see. And overall really pleased for Ben to get a goal. So I know it was bothering him not having scored yet, even though he'd been playing really well. Fantastic to see him score in the last minute.
And that roar when Ben Pope's going in, obviously, I've seen Joe Knight show the video, and it's so you can hear it really on the video. It's the roar as he scores. I think the whole Steve Smith down was willing that ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, it also took the game from on the face of it, a good win to a really, sent everybody away with a spring in their step. And of those 1,200 odd people, started off like, well, many of us did, like I did, maybe going along on bank holidays and that sort of thing. That will send people away the sort of spirits that mean more people will come back. And yeah, I mean, fantastic. Like I said, even my bloody postman was there. And it was just felt like one of those days that you thought, well, if this goes well, this is just going to, more people will come back and the whole thing keeps on snowballing. And that's excellent.
More. And I was like to mention it, obviously, I said about the player reaction after the Ramsgate game, how you could see how much it means to him after the game. You could see how much his win meant to him, especially I think players like Gary Alford was pretty much sprinting towards us, and you could tell how much like, yes, this is fucking got it. What a win! And you could say every interaction I see with these players, they care and want to play for the club, and I love it.
No, absolutely. Saying that, Johnny Wheels got a couple of videos of the celebrations for the goals that I'll have to send you, chaps, because you're in them. So, just so you know, they're good ones. So it's good. Like
I only jumped on people I knew this time. I only jumped on people I knew.
Yeah.
You a few times.
There was a few children there for some reason. I didn't remember that. There was a few kids there, weren't there? Like, yeah, they're the ones. When I say kids, they're like 14 or something.
Yeah, but they were good. They were getting involved. They were leading chants. It was really good to hear. They got involved in the celebrations, and they say they follow the celebrations. I think 4 years' time, they'll be regulars. They're bringing their mates, and it's more younger fans coming through. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice to see the younger lads there. It's a good mix. It's a good mix of the old and the young. So, how's it over in your stand then, Andy?
Yeah, again, there's a set of older regulars who stand bang on the halfway line, and there's a gang of young lads to our right who always turn up, and you begin to recognise more and more faces, really. And we're now at the stage, whereas I think even when I was first going, there weren't many of us up that side. Sometimes felt a bit quiet over there, but you're now at the stage where even that side is filling up. And it feels really good. And obviously, it's quite nice. People up there, you get that slight interaction with the players up and down the touchline and that. And so that tends to be quite an interesting side to it. But there's, I mean, pretty positive. It's definitely, it's obviously different to your lot behind the goal, but it's really, really pretty positive. Really pretty positive.
Andy,
right across the age groups.
Andy, just wanted to ask, because it's filling up more, will you be like a German and put a beach towel down on your seats or not?
I don't. Well, if it fills up that much, that'd be rather a nice problem to have, I would say. but well, how good would that be? No, well, we have our spot there, just 2'6" to the right of the bins. Woe betide anyone who goes there.
You're affectionately known.
Yeah. So it'd be like the Billy Bleach thing of the Fast Show. Someone's standing there, mate.
Right.
I don't begrudge anybody standing up the side there. So I think I can live with shifting about 2 or 3 feet either side somehow.
Right, chaps. Well, if that's all about White Hawk, which was a lovely, I haven't really said my piece, but you've covered everything. There's nothing.
Well, more than said about White Hawk, the best. I mean, you ran out of supertips. What can't remember the word? Just fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. It was what it was we didn't even allow them in the game, and it was just great to see how we just bossed them and bullied them.
Yeah,
and that guy pretending to be Neymar, who was like a fish in the middle of the pitch. I mean,
one got kicked in the head.
Well, I didn't know he got kicked in the head. I was like, "What is he doing?" And anyone's been kicked in the head. You don't flip your legs in the air.
No, he held it. Looked up, saw me attacking, and went back down.
And then started flipping his leg. Go on.
I was an early bid for our Paris 2024 breakdancing. I must admit, it was extraordinary. Okay, so I must admit, because the ball had gone, no one round our way. It was right under our noses. No one round our way saw what happened. I have to say.
It didn't look like anything to me, but they said that he got kicked in the head. And
I got that through the grapevine. I was told, or I didn't see it myself, but originally I thought it was Ollie Black. Then I got told it was Hasler, I think, maybe.
I think it was Hasler. It was Hasler. Hasler beat him to the ball, and they were might have been in a bit of a tangle on the ground, but the ball had gone, so no one was looking at it.
And their management team didn't kick off that much, which is what that's unless I'm blind, I didn't see them really going off.
I enjoy the game too. The management team were quite calm, surprisingly. You see away fans kicking off. Harris says it's around the tunnel.
Their number 7 went on and on about it over our. So literally, almost like giving a Gettysburg address to the linesman who wasn't having any of it. But,
I love you, Andy. You know that.
And there was, and he was getting a little bit of comment from the sidelines from us as well. I mean, it was ridiculous. Yeah,
I can sympathise. I can sympathise with their player really, because this morning I had such a hangover. I felt like I'd been kicked in the head by Sam Hasler. So I know how he feels. So deepest sympathies to that Wild player.
Looking forward to the FA Cup game we've got against Harefield United. I've obviously had a chat with the chairman, lovely bloke. Chaps, what are we thinking? This could potentially be a banana skin, but I'm very confident about this game. So, first of all, who's going?
Yep.
Unfortunately, I'm working, which is really annoying. Andy,
I'm a fan.
I think I may not go to this one. So
you're not a fan either, obviously, Andy.
My part-time mantle.
Yeah. No, I can't get out work. Sorry, chaps. I really want to say, I don't know how old you are, but in terms of, if you remember a player called Richard Paquette, does anyone remember a player called Richard Paquette?
I don't.
No. Okay, right. He played for QPR in 2000, 99, 2000. And I remember watching him start his career. He's now playing for Harefield United.
Oh, wow.
And he's one of those journeymen that's been around all the leagues, but he's stayed there for a few years, and he's also coaching. And I was going to meet him. I was chatting with the chairman. Yeah, I'd love to, because I watched him when he literally started, first game. And anyway.
Never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting fun fact, actually. Cristiano Ronaldo is a year older than Dave Martin.
Seriously?
That's incredible, isn't it? I think Martin's 35, isn't he?
Jesus.
That's incredible.
I thought Ronaldo's older than that.
He's 36.
Yeah, Ronaldo's 36.
That's what I mean. It's just incredible, isn't it? Just shows how careers can go.
Right. I'd have
Wayne Rooney's only 35.
Yeah.
I'll go away. He's 35. Really?
35, yeah. He's younger than Ronaldo.
Yeah.
That would make sense again, because if you think how young he was when he started playing.
Don't drink Coca-Cola, that's the message, isn't it?
Bloody hell. I remember when he first... Oh, I'm feeling old now. Right.
No.
What about Jimmy Anderson? He's 39, different sport, but Jimmy Anderson's also showing off at that age as well, so it's possible to stick around. Yeah.
When someone like Jimmy Anderson is called a sort of dyed-in-the-wool veteran, it occurs to me that he's still 20 years younger than I am. That's just sort of...
Actually, was Jimmy Anderson 2003 World Cup or 99?
It made its debut 2003, 2002.
Yeah, it was. Because wasn't that the Zimbabwe, with the Zimbabwe controversy around then?
Yeah, around there, yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm getting it from. And he used to have a very funky way of bowling.
Yeah, and a blonde streak for his hair.
Yeah. God, that's insane. Everyone knows his name. Anyway, we're not going to go into cricket. Actually, quickly, talking of cricket, so you chaps went and watched the India Test match, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, you saw day...
3.
Day 3?
Yeah.
What happened day 3?
They batted all day. We took 2 wickets.
Then we just got drunk and partied with the fans.
Yeah, so, I've got a worse story than that. I had day 1, Lord's Test match, England-India, and it rained all day, and I never saw a ball. So there you go. So that's not, the decent.
I had a day at Lord's once, which might have been against New Zealand, and I got so drunk I fell down the escalator at the Embankment station.
Respect that. Respect that.
And then proceeded to. I was living in Maidstone. Proceeded to sleep on the train and woke up at Ashford.
Ashford! Oh my God!
I know.
Oh, poor
I mean,
you.
basically, when you live in Maidstone, there's only one place worse, and that's Ashford. And it's a 50 quid taxi ride home as well.
Oh, painful.
I know.
Painful.
You try and remember your PIN number at that time of night when you don't know where you are. Oh, well.
Right, okay.
Saturday.
Sorry, George, go on. So, George, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Just one thing to note. Spoke to Aggie yesterday and seems keen for a cup run in both cups. So if anyone's thinking that we'll go and then put out a youth team or something and it might not be worth the trip, that's not true. Take the composition very very seriously by the sounds of it. So could be a good cup run. They're a level below us, so we will be favourites, but then it's a long trip away from home, so it should balance it out. Should be a really good game. But yeah, we're taking it seriously, so it's worth the trip to get behind the lads if we're going to put out a full side. So
yeah, absolutely adore the FA Cup. I still adore it at this level with us. I mean, at the Premier they don't put proper teams out, but we do. So I'm very jealous of anyone that goes. So I'm a bit annoyed I can't get out of work. But not all of us can be NHS heroes. So only a select few.
Only the elite, the elite few. Oh no, I can't use elite in that context, can I? It's become a pejorative term now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Chaps, anything else to talk to? Otherwise, I shall bid you adieu.
See you Saturday, Chris. Oh wait, no, sorry, can't go.
No, you.
George. Sorry, George. Yep.
Right, I've not said anything about Keith Chegwin, but I am now. All right. Go on, there you go. I've just thrown it in there. So.
Well, Rob, see you Saturday, mate.
I'm a real fan.
Yeah.
Very harsh. Very harsh.
But I'm assuming, George, you're going to talk about the greatest homecoming in sport this week or last week.
Well, yeah, it was absolutely massive news, wasn't it? Shocked the world of sport. Jim White all over it, and really pleased to have Lamray back at the club.
We never mentioned him.
Top
magnificent news.
Even better player, I think that's what Kenny said. So
going to get in this team right now. Like,
going to get in the
where would you put him?
Dawes and Martin.
Because Dawes is, you wouldn't take Dawes out now. So who would you shift round?
Well, I think he's got, obviously Martin, he said before, is 35. Probably can't play week in, week out. I think he'll rotate Martin, Dawes, and Dawes' fitness concerns as well. So he'll rotate Martin, Dawes in a season. Kenny occasionally play on the left as well and cover Popey. And I think that'd be fine. Leave Sammy Adams can stay covering central midfield. It's because we've seen him get shoved around a bit, pitch a bit, and him and Hasler, so they can stay covering midfield. So the midfielders can rotate the amount of work. Because when we get through the cup, it's going to be Monday, Saturday, Tuesday for a little bit, isn't it? So the more players are in each position, the more work we can rotate.
Yeah, it's a long season.
Does get to the stage, if you've got 15 players where you're not bothered who plays in certain positions, that's a nice situation, isn't it? So you've got a subs bench where when a sub comes on, it doesn't really change anything in the team and can sometimes enhance it. That's a nice situation. So as long as everyone's happy with that, they wouldn't come to it. He wouldn't come back to Hastings without knowing what the deal is. He knows what's going on here. He wants to come back. So he's going to know that it's a good team he's coming back to try to get into.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that's good. That's good.
That's a good news. End up with good news.
Yeah. And also, one other massive bonus I want to say from Saturday is having the players back in the clubhouse with the fans after the game. That was absolutely quality, and seeing a few of the players staying behind as well for a while, drinking, chatting with fans, and it's good to have that integration again. The club felt really close together, despite there being a massive crowd. It still felt like everyone was really close together Saturday. So on the up.
Yeah, shame I had to go early, but yeah, no, great
the
stuff.
fair weather fan again.
Right, mother-in-law, and we're not. Les Dawson, there's Les Dawson, there's mother-in-law.
So did you miss Ben Pope's goal?
No, I obviously clapped. I had to clap everyone in, and then I just dashed.
Right.
Then while I was going up the hill on the bike, the mother-in-law was there with the father-in-law. They hadn't got to our house yet. And I was thinking I was half an hour late. I could have stayed a little bit longer.
Oh, well, let's hope it was worth it.
No, the baby cried half the time. It was, anyway. Domestic life, mate. Go on.
Yeah, bring him. Theo's a hasty doctor. We all know. Let's bring him along.
Yeah, he's got a voice on him.
He'll fit right in.
He'll fit right in then. No, excellent. Well, I'll have to at some point.
Well, we use the ref and blame him. It was a kid. Let's chuck him out.
Right. On that note, I shall say, Andy, Robbie, George, thank you very much for coming on. And
great to speak to you guys.
Cheers, chaps. Enjoy. I won't make it on Saturday, so I'll be.
It's all right. We understand that everyone can make every game. We're very forgiving about that.
That's all right. I do sometimes feel like we need to send in a note.
Acceptable reason? Chris's reason, not acceptable.
Good one.
All right, take care. See you, George. Bye.
See ya.
And that's it for another week, Hastings fans. Remember, as ever, if you want to get on the show or have any ideas or issues, Hastings United. Email is hufcpod@gmail.com or our Twitter, which is @HUFCpodcast. We also have a YouTube channel where there's loads of additional content and individual videos going back over a year now. Please subscribe, share if you can. All that's left for me to say is, I've been your host, Chris Laverick. Hope you have a good week and see you at the game. Not this one, I'm bloody working, but I'll be there in spirit.